Being a good borrower is a severely underrated skill, but one that is critical to growing real wealth. So in this video, I want to share with you the secrets for communicating with your private lenders, your hard money lenders, and even your banks. I want you to learn how to nurture that relationship in ways that will only help you and your financial future. So by the end of this video, what you're going to know is you're going to know how to secure a private lender for repeat business. These are tried and tested. You know how I know this? I've borrowed money from hundreds of lenders and I've lent significant money out to lots of lenders. So these are things you really should take serious. The first thing I want you to understand is you need to build a good relationship with your lender. So how do you do that? Well, I always like to think communication and trust. Those are key to any business relationship, right? They're key to me as a lender. And this is especially true for borrowing from private lenders. I don't care. Actually, you know what? This is true for borrowing from private lenders and as well as banks, as well as hard money lenders. This is true for borrowing from anyone. It all comes down to communication and trust. And that all plays into the whole relationship bucket. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you keep your lenders informed about the status of the loan and any changes in your financial situation and any changes to the deal. And I'll get back to this and I'll tell you some of the things that are really important to know when we do the recap. But the second thing I want you to understand is please repay your loans on time. Don't be late. And if you're late, let them know you're going to be late. Hey, I'm out of the country. I might be a couple days late. Okay, no problem. But not telling them and the check doesn't show up, not good. One of the most important things you can do to be a good borrower is to make your loan payments on time. Late payments, well, I'll be first to tell you, they're going to damage your reputation. They're going to damage your credit score as well. And it's going to be much harder for you to borrow in the future. Let me give you a real life example. This is the only loan I've ever done that didn't work out pretty close to perfect. I lent this money to a newer investor. I liked the kid. He was a nice kid and the property was awesome. It was a 4-unit in Colorado and he came from a really good referral source. So I gave it a whirl. And I didn't lend a lot of money and the property had plenty of equity. But this borrower did not communicate. He got late in his payments. I started having to send emails and letters from my attorney. I had to threaten him. And then finally he would say, oh, I'm so sorry. And this is after like a month. I'm so sorry, this, that, and the other thing, like these excuses. And then he would send me all the money and then he would send me the late fees. And I'd be like, okay, here we go. And then it would start to happen again. And this became a recurring thing. And then I would call him and he wouldn't answer his phone. He wouldn't answer his text messages. He wouldn't answer his emails. So immediately, I would go right into defense mode. I'm just going to foreclose. Then all of a sudden, he'd come out of the woodwork miraculously, and he'd be like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I've been so busy. Excuses. This went on forever. And at the end, I said, you know what? Don't send me any more payments. I don't want any more interest payments from you. Matter of fact, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to foreclose on your property because your property, by what I'm looking at right here, is worth over $400,000 and I've only lent you $100. So that's a good day in the office and I'm sick of dealing with your nonsense excuses. So I'm just going to foreclose. So please don't send me any more payments at all. And by the way, from here on out, don't even communicate with me anymore. You don't anyway. Why don't you just communicate with my attorney? He'll be a much better person to communicate. Can any of you imagine what happened? He sold that property super fast. He paid me back all my money, my late fees and everything, and that's it. That's the worst deal I've ever had. Why did that go south? Well, it wasn't because the deal was bad. It wasn't because the borrower was bad. It was for lack of communication. He didn't communicate, and he made excuses acting like I cared about why he wasn't making payments. Folks, learn from that. That leads me to the next thing, number 3. Be transparent. And I think that story I just gave you really plays into this. Be open and be honest with your lender about your financial situation. And be honest about the purpose of the loan. Like, what are you using this loan money for? This is going to help them, the lenders, understand your needs and make informed decisions about whether or not to lend to you, but not only whether or not to lend to you, and whether or not they should foreclose on your property. Do you follow what I'm saying? So if you just communicate and you just are open about your financial situation, show lenders before you get in business with them, show them your personal financial statement. I ask everybody for it. I want to know what your income is. I want to know what your assets are. I want to know how much money you have, and I want supporting documents. I'm not trying to be a jerk. And I'm certainly not trying to put you through the gamut like a bank, but I want to know when you don't call me back. I want to know when you don't make the payments to me. How much money do you have behind the scenes that I can go after? I don't mean to be a jerk, but hey, this is a business. Number 4, show your lenders that you're responsible borrowers. And how do you do this? It's simple. You can demonstrate your responsibility as a borrower by having a good credit score. That goes a long way. How about a solid business plan? When you bring me your opportunity, your deal, show me the business plan. I want to not just know about the deal. I want to know about your business. I want to know about you. And also, I want to know about your solid track history of repaying your prior debts. Now, your credit score is going to show me some of that. But I really want to know, how many deals have you done? Have you ever paid late? Have you ever defaulted? Have you ever had a property foreclosed? All these things. These are all vital and really, really important. Number 5, negotiate the terms that work for both parties. That's right. It doesn't matter if you're a lender or a borrower. You should negotiate. So private lenders, well, they can be flexible. I know I am. I have all sorts of options I'll do with a particular borrower if I like the borrower and the borrower is transparent and all the other stuff we just talked about. So don't be afraid to negotiate terms, because if it works for you, chances are it might work for me. I mean, don't lowball me, but we can negotiate terms because I want this deal to work for you. If I'm going to lend you, I want this to work, because if it works for you, it works for me. We both make money. That's a win-win solution. And this includes the interest rate. So I might say, I want 15%. You might say, well, you know what? I can really only afford 12. You might say, I want to pay all the interest at the end. And I might say, no, I need interest paid monthly. And we're going to negotiate. So I might give you 12, but I want payments monthly. And all the other details that would be found in the note and the loan agreement. See, these things are all negotiable, but please negotiate. Don't just take things at face value knowing that you're not going to be able to make those payments, because if that's the case, we're not going to get off to a good start. Number 6, I want you to always consider offering collateral. Don't wait to be asked. If you're a borrower, offer the collateral. So, for example, if you have assets that you can use to collateralize the loan or even cross-collateralize, let's say you're borrowing money for a flip, but the flip is tight, but you got these other houses, these other assets, cross-collateralize it. Offer a personal guarantee on the loans, which means you're putting all of your personal assets on the line. And I know that's scary, but you know what? That might be how you get the deal done. This is going to help you secure a loan from a private lender. Just be sure to consider the risks of involving collateral of any sorts. Now, first off, I'm not going to lend any money unless I'm in first position. That's just how I roll. But other people might lend in second position. And I'm not going to lend 100% on the deal unless you cross-collateralize it, and I am over-collateralized. I'm trying to just get you to see kind of from a lender's standpoint what I'm looking for. And you might say that's unreasonable. But me as a lender, I've got the money that you need to do the deal. I want you to be successful. I want to lend money to you multiple times. Let's find a win-win solution here. So if you collateralize the deal, just know that you could lose that particular collateral if you don't make payments. One other thing I'm going to give you, and this is kind of a bonus round. You really want to impress a lender? Here's what you do. Once we get into the deal, let's just say you met all the other criteria. We negotiated the deal. You're a good risk for me, and I lend you money. I want to see the progress of the deal. As much as I'm just the lender and I don't really have to be shown this, but what you should do is 2 things. Number 1, send me updates. Text me photos of what the deal's doing. Text me, all the things that are going on, good, bad, or indifferent. Hey, we had a little bit of a setback. The building inspector shut it down. We have to get this permit, blah, blah, blah. Great. All right, no problem. And in my response, how much longer are you thinking it will push it back? Probably a month. I'm okay with that. You communicated. Send me all the stuff you can. You know what some good borrowers do? They send a newsletter. Every month, they send a newsletter of the progress on the property that I am lending on. You know how good that makes me feel? Whoa, man, you guys are way ahead of schedule. Wow, look at all that drywall's up. Look at the kitchen, all that stuff. I want to see that stuff because my money is in that deal, and I want to know what my money is doing. I want to know that my money is going to renovating the property. I want to know that my money is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Bonus number 2. Not many people will talk about this, but I'm going to. You really want to impress me? When we're getting into a lending deal, when I'm lending you money on one of your deals, I want you to tell me, hey, listen, Mr. Lender, here's what I do for all my deals. I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to open up a separate bank account. So any money that you give me for renovations or for this deal, it's going to go into this separate account. There's nothing else in this account except for what we're doing with this property. At any time, Mr. Lender, if you want to see this account, I can send you a statement. Heck, I'll even give you the ability to log in and check it out because I want you to know that your money's safe here. I want you to know that your money's being used for the deal. And I'll also periodically update you on the progress of the deal so you can see when you look at the statement where that money's actually going in this particular property. You see, Mr. Lender, I want you to feel really confident with me as a borrower. Boom! You really just knocked it out of the park. So let's just go back to the top and let's just run through these really quick. I'm not going to do the bonuses again. So remember, open a separate account for every deal that I lend on. Show me where my money's being used and update me. But let's go to, here's the top things. The first thing I mentioned was building a good relationship with your lender. Communicate and build trust in any way you can. The relationship is worth its weight in gold. That's the first and most important thing that you need to know as a borrower and also as a lender. I want to build a relationship with you because I want to lend to you multiple times, but I want to be paid on time, which brings me to number 2. Repay your loans on time. I mean, kind of seems like common knowledge, but a lot of borrowers, they make excuses. They don't pay on time. They run late and they don't communicate that they're running late. Like if you're going to make excuses, they better be darn good. Like, hey, I got in a car accident, or hey, I lost a loved one, or something. Like not, oh, hey, things have been tough, I've been super busy. I don't care. Where's my payment? The third thing, be transparent. Be really open and honest with your lender. I want to know your situation. I want to know your financial situation. And I want you to show me statements and I want you to show me what the purpose of this loan is going to be. Because you need to help me understand your needs for this particular loan. Number 4, show your lenders that you're a responsible borrower. You can do this by demonstrating responsibility very simply by showing me you got a good credit score. Show me a solid business plan that you spent time developing. Show me your track history and show me how you've always repaid all the loans. These things go a long way. And number 5, you can negotiate. I know as a lender, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but negotiate the terms. It'll make me know that you're an experienced borrower. We can negotiate terms on interest rate, on terms, on how payments are there. We can negotiate the whole thing. And if you come at me with a good negotiation, not a greedy negotiation, then I'm going to know that you're experienced and you've done this before. It's confidence, folks. And number 6, consider offering collateral. Matter of fact, I won't lend to you unless you put collateral up. I want to be in first position on the property. So whatever the asset is I'm lending on, I'm going to be first on that. So that if I don't get paid, I don't have to go and worry about how I'm going to get my money back. So these are important. And also learn about cross-collateralization. You remember the bonuses, but I hope this helps. These are golden nuggets when it comes to how you can really impress a lender as a borrower. And if you like this video, then subscribe to this channel right now, right below. Click that little subscribe button and smash that bell up there, the one that says we're going to send you new videos every time we put them on there. You're going to want more stuff like this because you know what? This is just the tip of the iceberg. So why don't we start here? Watch this video. This is another one I just did. It's where should I use my infinite banking policy? Well, I hope you like this and I hope you apply this knowledge because maybe someday I'll lend to you on Private Money Club. We'll see you next time.